What is your dream? What do you dream of being, of having, of experiencing? Do you have a dream? And no judgment if you don't. Is it possible that you had a dream and that you let it go or disconnected from it because of life? I ask because I think that dreams are very important. I think now pretty critical, but I also think our idea of them has kind of been warped. From all the movies and entertainment to the realities of life, we have taken dreams to be this childish or fantasy like thing that we're sometimes either nervous to share or unwilling to kind of pursue because it just feels so far off. But I think that's because we look at dreams as this like far off thing or fantasy instead of what it actually is, which is a course of study. If we take away its lofty qualities and bring dreams down to what they actually are, it's a mental picture or idea of what you would like to experience and could possibly have. And the crazy thing about dreams is often they aren't that unrealistic. Like often there is some either version of the dream that exists in somebody else's life or an amalgamation of things. But dreams represent a version, a state of being that is beyond or ahead of where we are currently. And when we don't know the how, when we don't know all the characteristics or the steps or the experiences that get us there, which we of course wouldn't know, we decide that it's not possible or we never actually engage with it in a meaningful way. But if you look at dreams as a course of study, you're enrolling in what that dream asks of you, of what that dream confronts you with. And over the course of these experiences, over the course of these relationships, over the course of your being reconfigured by this far off vision, you are sculpted into something new in the process. You are sculpted into something different that was informed by something that could be considered fantasy. It is my dream to invent things, to teach and instruct and help people grow and expand, to travel and to be heart to heart with other people in various places in the world. And I've also said that I want to be able to meet any person in any stage of transition or life and be able to offer them something that sets them on their own direction, in their own course. Not because I have the answers, but because I simply radiate something that says, I have an idea now what I want to do next. And even though I can do some version of that now, what it will take for me to live that as a reality is practicing teaching, is meeting people who are in transition, is creating space to contemplate and to ponder problems that I would like to solve. So if I take the vision of this fantasy life of just flying to other countries and having a creative workshop and then talking to strangers and impacting them in some unmeasurable way, that dream influences and informs the actions that I can take now. Another reason why I think dreams are so important is that I think humans have more qualities and potential and capabilities that we are unaware of that being logical and rational don't summon, don't employ. And if we have a dream that is far off and seemingly impossible, then we pull on some of those untapped resources to arrive at a place like that, to be refined in that direction. I also think the fact that we have dreams every night of an untold nature with things that seem impossible and things that are wholly unrealistic that affect us and that can even assist us in various ways is indicative of its importance and the value of these imaginal pictures of possibility. One of the things that I'm currently interested in is power and watching how the powerful use it, and how people who don't think that they're powerful kind of abandon their own. And I think that a large part, a key aspect of our personal power is connected to our dreams. And so I believe deeply that a dream deferred, so you pushing those dreams off, is power relinquished. Your being, your energy, the way that your brain is structured is, in my personal belief, to satisfy what you came here to do, your mission or the thing that you most find enjoyable. So when you decide, okay, I can't do this thing that is natural to me, I can't do this thing that I've not seen anybody else do, I'm going to go with the crowd or do what makes sense. The deep and untapped capacity to create, to facilitate, to influence things that is a natural part of your power gets relinquished. And so then you are subject to the changing tides of society, because the thing that you are uniquely capable of offering, the power that you are uniquely capable of wielding, is being wasted. And trust me, I get it. We have so many unlived lives and unfulfilled dreams around us that often we can be awash in negativity and limitation that says, oh, this idea that you have, yeah, forget about that. The bills are due. So like that doesn't matter. And I also don't think that dreams should be offered without dancing with them, without engaging with them and being changed by them in a way that is tangible and material. I think the whole reason, the whole nature of humanity is bringing heaven to earth, is bringing the formless into form. And so having a dream is a very, very important step one, but the fact is that we are material, embodied beings who have the gift of making an idea a product, a pondering, an invention, a fleeting thought into a work of art. In a previous video, I said it feels that everything is in flux, that everything is changing faster than we can realize or kind of keep track, and that the ground that we're standing on is an obstacle course of treadmills. And so I think that there is collective movement and then there's individual movement that informs that collective movement. And so I think the most powerful direction, the most powerful thing that we can move toward is a dream, is something that feels far off, but is really a course of study that instructs us, that has us meeting people that we wouldn't have considered meeting and becoming something that holds and is the embodiment of a dream. And I also think the future picture, the dream, the big vision of who we can see ourselves as being informs our identities, which will be incredibly important as we navigate ahead. To know what is for you, to know what opportunity is, if not a waste of your time, just something that you're not interested in. So you know how to clearly say no, because that is not in alignment and that doesn't feel like where I want to go. So if you have a dream, if you don't have one, if you have forgotten about it, I want you to revisit them, but I want you to consider these few things. I want you to, one, make it as true as possible. And I don't think it'll be so hard to bring it back up, because you always are what you are. So to whatever degree, whatever vision you can see of who you would most like to be, the life that you would most like to have, make it as true as possible to you. If you want to travel the world, maybe don't dream of being a homeowner. Or maybe do and have some weird kind of funky structure that still allows you to travel. But you have to be true to yourself, because everything is changing. And who you decide to be, who you become, who you spend your energy and intention and attention on being, informs the collective dream of what we ultimately become. So I want you to make it as true as possible to who you are and what you want, that you can see today. It can change as you get further along the horizon, as you get further through your course of study. You ultimately decide, okay, this is what I want this thing to be a little bit more clearly now. And then I want you to bathe in it. I want you to not just create a vision board, but if you want to travel, look at POV videos of other countries. If you want to be a musician, look at POV videos of people playing the drums or playing the piano. If it is art, whatever it is, I want you to bathe yourself in it. I want you to think about it. I want you to daydream about it. I want you to talk to people about it. You want to ingest as much as possible of it, so that in your real reality, this thing that feels like fantasy and far off becomes very, very near and very, very clear to you. Like, oh, I want to visit this country instead of this country. I would like to have these kind of relationships versus these other kinds of relationships that I'm most familiar with. I would like this morning routine versus this one. I would like to spend this amount of time working versus what I'm doing now. I want you to be so clear that if you were to be quizzed on your dream, if you were to have a comprehensive exam about what this dream is, you could sit for hours and write about it and talk about it and defend it. Not because it needs defending, but that's what a course of study sometimes requires. Because when you come against obstacles and doubt, you don't have to say, oh, well, I haven't considered that. Maybe I haven't thought this through well enough. No, you want yourselves to be clear on like, oh no, I belong in this other kind of place. And I am already there because I have bathed myself in the experience of it. And so after you have the dream that's true, that feels big even, but that feels like you, after you have bathed yourself in every possibility, in the different likelihoods, not the how, but like, this is what I want it to look and feel like. These are the kinds of conversations that I want to have. These are the tabs that go along with this. I want you to let yourself be in flight. Like if you're going on a vacation and you know that you're going to land in 3 or 4 hours, you're going to spend those hours in flight. You might get there sooner, you might get there later, you might hit turbulence, but if everything goes according to like the divine plan, you make it to your destination. And so let yourself be in flight. Feel whatever you feel, have what experience you have, but know that the destination is now woven inside of you, and now you need only show up to class. You need only meet the moments that happen in between. I believe that life should be able to unfold naturally in serendipitous and playful ways, but I also think that there needs to be some level of direction too. If we get in a car, it's rare that we just go on a drive and don't at least have in our minds some places that we would like to stop. If we are going for a walk, it's not always as aimless as we take the big picture of life. So the thing that you decide doesn't need to be the final destination, but you need a course of study that informs how you live and informs how you go about developing and interacting and experiencing people in life. So I invite you to spend some time either figuring out and deciding that, oh yeah, this is my dream, this is the thing that I want to do, or simply acknowledge it to yourself that like, yes, this is the thing that I want. I don't know how to get there. I don't know what courses and what projects are necessary for the completion of this thing, but I'm willing to show up to class. I'm willing to show up to life and do my very best and then learn along the way. So before you are bombarded by more of what's happening in the world, more of everything that is going on around us, identify your dream, that big picture vision of who you want to be and what you want to have and what you want to experience, and enroll in that course of study. You don't need to know everything yet. You won't know everything yet. You're a student to this. But enroll in that course of study because class has already started. You're already showing up to life. We just got to get you in the right place. I'm Melvin. Thank you so much, and I will talk to you in the next one.